WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett Memphis, ESPN 790 AM with Colin Coward and The Herd, weekday mornings from 9 a.m. till noon.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
And welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this first Saturday in the month of July, July the 4th. As we say, happy birthday, America.
1 hour down already.
1 hour down. Man, it seems, coming into the studio, I was thinking, me and Greg in the studio, it's, hour and a half, because I remember years ago having to do this, and sitting there and not having very many guests lined up, and it was like, by the 45 minutes into the program, you start saying, well, do I read Shakespeare or what? But we want to welcome and thank everybody for taking time this morning on their 4th of July. And in the last segment, we talked to Major Brian Thompson, our TWRA Region 1 Law Enforcement Coordinator. The 4th of July is one of the biggest summer boating holidays that we have out there. Usually, I've seen the stats, a lot of times Memorial Day might be just a hair bigger, but, but 4th of July, they'll rate up there the same, so. But everybody, if you're headed to the lake this morning, going to spend the day on the water. We talked stuff on the water, but getting there, you want to make sure you have a safe and pleasurable trip, because, hopefully when you've hooked your boat up yesterday or this morning that you're, and fixing to head to the water, you want to check your tires and your wheel bearings and stuff like that on your trailers, to make sure, because it's having a wheel bearing go down on you going to the lake, especially on a holiday, is, trying to find somebody to get that fixed. It's not going to be a very good predicament, as they say. But and if you're going to be, especially if you're going to be out on the Mississippi River, this weekend, if you're not aware by now, the river is been on a rise, and in fact, I believe it's supposed to go to maybe 29.5 feet or 30 feet on the gauge.
I think I saw like 30.5 was one of the projected.
Yeah, and what that means for us as an agency, that means that our crops that we have planted on our wildlife management areas that's below the levee, like close to Memphis, Eagle Lake Refuge, or on John Tully, all that's fixing, is going to be under 4 or 5 feet of water. So it's one of those things that the crops that they've had planted, especially up there at John Tully, the dove fields, the sunflower fields, you can write that off. So as soon as the water recedes and the ground dries out, they will be looking at their options, to plant something else. Probably this late stage in the planting season, they'll probably have to go to maybe some type of millet, and hopefully it will mature before the opening day of dove season on the 1st of September. But you really want to be careful if you're out on the Mississippi River. High water means a lot of stuff coming down the river.
Trees and all kinds of stuff.
As the old riverboat planers and sawyers, as some of them old river terms, and the levees. I mean, the dikes, the water control structures, out there under the water makes the current do funny things. So you just want to, be very diligent and have that PFD on if you're going to be out on the big muddy, as we say. And hopefully in the next segment or two, we might have a guest, Dale Sanders, who's taken, paddling adventure down the Mississippi River. And I know Larry had set him up and was hoping to, have him, contacted this morning to talk to him. He's paddling down the Mississippi River to support type 2 diabetes, for a cause and research and stuff like that. So I kind of hope we can get a hold of him. Maybe
me too. He's out on the river right now, so it's hard to.
He is on his pilgrimage, as it say. So, and sometimes you get below that bluff, out on the river, depending on the vicinity. You don't have cell service.
Exactly.
So, but it's one of the things that. Maybe we'll get in touch with him and everything. But some of the other stuff happening that you want to be aware of in July that we got coming up, the deadline for the wildlife management area quota hunts is coming up fairly quick. And a lot of the information, you can go to our website, which is tnwildlife.org. And the way I understand it, our website is kind of getting a redo. You will be directed back to on the state of Tennessee website. They've kind of consolidated all the agencies' websites, so going to their website, it's kind of a work in progress. We're going to have to transfer all that information and stuff, that was on our website onto that one. So. We want to make sure, it gets right, that it's correct and everything. So even though we're in the computer age and everything electronically, it still takes time to do that. So you'll notice, over the next week or so that hopefully they'll get a lot of the information out. As I understand it, maybe the people, if you're interested, in a new hunting guide, I seen the third proof the other day, so it'll go through another one, and hopefully it'll probably be the middle of the month that the hunting guide will be out, and some of the changes that for the upcoming hunting seasons. Of course, we'll be Tennessee. We've gone to for our deer seasons. We've increased some of our antlerless opportunities in counties across the state, but on the antlered deer or the buck harvest, you're now only allowed 2 antlered, bucks for the hunting year, and so that will be, all the changes that you'll see and stuff like that. So that is some of the. And some of the other stuff, the license increase and changes that went into effect July 1, some of the other ones that is going to have an effect on a lot of people that'll change is our resident, what I call our senior citizens license. At one time when you turned 65, you were able to buy a resident senior more or less lifetime senior citizens license. One for our $11 license. Well, that has changed that license more or less has the lifetime license for senior citizens falls into our regular lifetime license,
Okay.
And I believe it's going to be, the increases and stuff, like a couple of $100. So, but we now have an annual type, what we call it, a new one, type 164. It's a resident annual senior citizens license, and it'll be for $5. And a little history on that license, and one of the reasons we went to a change is like Commissioner Bill Cox alluded to at the beginning of the program. The TWRA, we get a lot of matching money from the federal government, and it is given back to the states based on the amount of licensed hunters and fishermen that you have. Well, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, that is in charge of these funds and everything, have a problem with kind of lifetime license, because it's kind of hard to base if those people are still, or with us or not. So when years ago, back in the early 80s, when we had the idea for this license, that license was going to be an annual license, and it was going to be like a $2 license that people that were 65 and over could buy. But the Tennessee legislature said no, they didn't like that idea, and they came to us and said, we want you to come up with some lifetime type. So that was when the what I call the permanent license came into effect. So, but that now has since changed, and we've gone back to an annual for $5, and then they will have a senior annual sportsman's type license, just like our regular sportsman's license. It'll be for $50. That covers everything. But you'll be able to find all that information on our website, and in the upcoming weeks we'll be putting a lot of stuff out. I know Larry will be talking about it on his website and everything. So, but that's some of the stuff, but that you might want to look at. So, okay, well, I hear music again, and you're pointing your finger at me again.
Yep.
So that means this 15 minutes has kind of flown by. So, y'all get up, stretch your legs, get you another cup of coffee if you want it, and come back and join us with Outdoors with Larry Ray.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry.